7. The concept and kinds of wages. Section 2, Clause H of the Minimum Wages Act define the wages. Anything paid to the employee for their work as agreed in the contract, whether written or implied, is wages. If the employer gives extra money for housing, it is also considered as a part of wages. But there are certain things which are not to be included into the wages, such as non monetary benefits, employer's contribution to pension fund, travel allowance, special expenses, and gratuity. There are three kinds of wages: minimum wages, fair wages, and living wages. Minimum wages indicate the nature of wages where the wages has to be sufficient to fulfill the basic requirements of the workman and his family. It indicates the bare substance of life as well as some requirements of education, medical treatment, and other amenities. The aim is to maintain the efficiency of the worker. Fair wages are more than minimum wages but less than living wages. It emphasizes on the financial position of the employer and the efficiency of the worker and the fair needs of his family. After evaluating all these factors, the amount of fair wages can be decided. Then, the ultimate objective of a civilized society is living wages, which is not mentioned in the Minimum Wages Act but is mentioned under Article 43 of the Indian Constitution. Living wages refers to the amount of income needed for an individual or family to maintain a basic but decent standard of living. This concept goes beyond just the bare necessities and aim to cover a range of essentials that allow individual to live with dignity and participate fully in society. The purpose of living wages is to ensure that workers can afford a quality of life, participate in social and cultural activities, provide for their family without needing multiple jobs or excessive overtime. The industrial cum region formula. It is a principle used in wages fixation to ensure fairness and consistency in determining wages. It considered two key factors. First, industry's capacity, and second, regional comparison. Wages are determined based on the paying capacity of the specific industry, reflecting its financial health, productivity, and profitability that are aligned with the prevailing wage rate for the similar industries in the same geographical region to ensure fairness and prevent exploitation. Crown Aluminium Works Limited versus Workmen. The workmen demanded an increment which was initially granted. Crown Aluminium Work Limited denied its liability to pay an increment to its workmen, and that arose a dispute. The Supreme Court held that while the wage structure can be revised, they cannot be reduced below the bare substance level. The court emphasized the principle of social justice and the need for genuine cooperation between labor and capital. The court stated that the Constitution of India aims to create a democratic welfare state and secure social and economic justice. Therefore, wage revision must be founded on the principles such as comparable wages, productivity, cost of living, and the ability of the industry to pay. Gravis Cotton and Co Limited versus Workmen. The dispute arose over wages, dearness allowance, and gratuity. The workmen demanded higher wages and allowance, which led to a reference to the Industrial Tribunal for adjudication. The Supreme Court held that the wage scale should be revised based on industry cum region formula. The court emphasized that the industry part of the formula should be given more weight if there are many concerned in the same region carrying on the same industry. However, if the number of industries in the particular region is small, the region part of the formula assumes more importance. The court also ruled that creating two classes of higher unskilled and lower skilled workers in the category of unskilled factory workmen was not justified. Additionally, employees receiving the same wages should get the same scale of dearness allowance irrespective of their jobs. The workmen versus the management of Repco Pratt and Co Limited. The dispute arose over the dearness allowance structure. The Repco Pratt Co Limited had a double linked DA system which was linked to both the cost of living index and employees' basic pay. This system had been in place for nearly 30 years and was confirmed through multiple settlements between the company and its workmen. The Supreme Court held that the tribunal was not justified in abolishing the slab system of DA. The court emphasized that the existing structure had been a long standing component of the wage structure and confirmed through multiple settlements. The court found that neither the company nor the tribunal presented evidence that the company's financial position was not strained but that it could not sustain the existing DA scheme. The Supreme Court stated that wages should not be revised to the disadvantage of workers unless it can be shown that the company is financially incapable of maintaining the existing structure and that the current pay levels are above the minimum wage. The court emphasized that the existing DA structure made the minimum wage requirements necessary for a decent standard of living. People's Union for Democratic Right versus Union of India. The case involved the violation of labor laws and the exploitation of workers involved in the construction of Asian Games infrastructure in Delhi. The terrible working and living condition of these workers who were often paid below minimum wages and worked in hazardous conditions. The Supreme Court ruled in the favor of workers, directing the Union government, Delhi Development Authority, and Delhi administration to ensure the payment of minimum wages and provision of the other facilities to the worker. The court emphasized the importance of social justice and the need to protect workers' rights, especially in the context of public projects. The judgment highlighted that the state has a duty to ensure that labor laws are observed and that workers are treated fairly and humanly.